Policy Committee and Community Relations Committee. We're glad to have you back. I don't know, a lot of you don't look familiar to me. I remember faces. So you weren't here last month, but we welcome you this month. So I'm Beverly Constantly, the board chair. And since we pride ourselves on starting on time and getting out when you still have daylight, I will now turn this over to Mr. Paul Berry. And thank you all for coming out. And there are drinks and things in the back, right over here.
Is the mic on, Paul?
I don't think so.
No,
It's not on.
I will project. If you can't hear me, just, I won't be up here for very long. Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Paul Berry. I'm obviously not Shane Ziegler, but just want to welcome all of you here. Welcome to the community center. My son does his swim lessons here, and we come here all the time, and we just love being able to have these meetings where we can share things that are happening with the center. We rely on feedback and input from the community to help us make sure that Reston's expectations for our programs and services are meeting your expectations. We're always delighted to share time with our neighbors and constituents and appreciate everything that you're doing for the community and for joining us tonight. Next, following the order here, I'm going to be introducing Lisa, who's going to talk about program policy.
You can get that mic on. Hold on, Lisa, let's get that mic on. This is being recorded.
Oh, can you hear me now?
No, I mean, we can hear you.
Now you should get it. Is that louder?
Hold it up.
Okay, a little
Hold it
better.
up. Hold it up. There you go.
Louder there?
Yeah, try that.
All right, can everyone hear me a little bit better?
Much better.
I was not born with an inside voice, so I didn't think it'd be a problem, but good evening. My name is Lisa Seacrest-Earhart, and I'm one of the members of the RCC board. It's a pleasure to be here. I love being a Restonian, and I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. It's really important always for everything we do to have input from the community. So tonight, excuse me, tonight is kind of like part 2 of what we did last month, but tonight we're going to follow up. Last month we had Dr. Kara Fitzgibbon from the UVA, I wouldn't say policy, but the UVA Center for Research on the RCC 2024 community survey results. Everyone, if you're a Reston resident, you got something sent to your home, you fill it out, we got all that information. She gave it was detailed, a lot with data last month. This month, we're going to go over some of the program that we have here at RCC, and it's going to, excuse me, my allergies are kicking in now. We're going to talk about programs, some staff and teams, and review the data results, but also going to identify actual opportunities for programs as we go forward, looking at things such as how we can explore to change things going forward. And we're thrilled to share some of those areas with you tonight. So please, when it's your turn, get to participate. And I will turn it back over to our Executive Director, Dee.
Thank you, Lisa. I see some new faces. Can you hear me, right? Yes. Okay, great. My name is Phoebe Nguyen. I'm the new Executive Director of RCC. I welcome everybody here. Thank you, Supervisor Alcorn, for joining us. I've seen you twice today, and I want to thanks to the board. I have my management team here. If you're on the management team, please stand up. This is our management team of the RCC, plus Ryan Gannon, our accreditation specialist, Catherine Kovac, our PIO, and Ricky Marion, who's helping me with the public information meeting minutes tonight. So thank you guys, appreciate it. I also want to call attention to our new Deputy Director, Breanne Baglini, who is in her 3rd week with RCC. So welcome. So tonight, I put together the slide deck, and I ran it past the board last Monday when we had our board meeting, but then we had our incident on Tuesday. So I wanted to address the elephant in the room first by addressing the safety concerns that I think a lot of our staff members and our board, as well as the community members, are top of mind. So this is the agenda for tonight. We'll go through the safety concerns. As Lisa had mentioned, the management team has been pouring through all of the community survey results, and we will be reporting out on those areas of opportunities that was shown in the survey results. Along the lines of the fitness and wellness that we heard, there was a big 67% of our community members who were interested in seeing more of those programs, as well as lifelong learning and update on the after-school program that we've been exploring with Dogwood Elementary, as well as a report out on RCC on Wheels and some of the exciting upcoming schedule that we have for spring and summer. We're going to address the 3 barriers to participation that were asked, that was revealed in the community survey, and some of the communication strategies that we are addressing to overcome those barriers. And then we'll go into the fee waiver program that is an expansion of the current fee waiver that we already have, but this is specific to federal workers who resides in Reston. And then you have an opportunity for community input at the end. Okay. So how many of you here received my message from on Wednesday regarding the Tuesday night incident? The majority of you. Fantastic. Not fantastic, but I wanted to make sure that the communications were swift and accurate so that everybody has the information that they need. And since then, I've been on a lot of meetings and to gather all the different strategies that the community partners at the county, as well as the human services partners that are in Reston, who are working, hand in hand with me to address the public safety concerns that we have since Tuesday. But the community has been involved in these conversations for many, many months. It's come to a head with this incident, but as Supervisor Alcorn has been participating in these meetings for almost every other week, it's been an ongoing conversation that all of the organizations have been talking about to address the issues. So these are some of the strategies that I have confirmed with the partners. So with the police department, they have increased their high visibility patrol in and around Hunters Woods Plaza for the next 2 weeks. That is directly from Major Alua from the Reston District Station. They are holding a March 25th community meeting for Hunters Woods, and there's a flyer over at the table over there, so please pick one up. When I spoke to Major Alua today, he emphasized that he will be compiling a lot of the data from the neighborhoods, and will be sharing that with community members so that you could see if there is when something like this happens, the popular narrative is that, crimes are rampant and all of these things are just, happening all over the place. And he wants to address that in terms of the data that he's collected. So please pick a flyer and attend that if you are available. And he also shared with me the dashboard, the crime dashboard on fcpod.org. And I went there today and it was really, really insightful because you can filter it by different types of crimes on a person, crimes on properties, the demographics, and there's a ton of data that you can slice and dice and really see what is really going on in our neighborhood. So please check that out. When I met with my colleagues over in Neighborhood Community Services, we discussed about there's a mobile unit that does in the North County area where they take a team of substance abuse experts to do intakes and to provide services and resources to anybody that needs them. And so there is a route, and we've discussed that of adding RCC as one of the stop on that route. So that will be coming soon. Cornerstones continue to make their daily visits to RCC inside of our community center and also on the plaza to talk to our neighbors who, in need of resources, and so they're consistently doing that. And then the Eden's management role, we know that they're involved in the next few meetings that are coming up, and we're gonna put some pressure on them in terms of managing the lights and the parking areas and some of the things that we know that we've seen as, we're keeping an eye on the safety of the facilities in the parking area. In terms of what RCC is doing, we're expanding our security presence with an armed officer as soon as possible. We got, I was in a meeting with the Dams Department of Emergency Management and Security, and we're putting in place a plan to execute, to have an armed officer on site from Monday to Saturday, 6 a.m. when we open our doors, when our early bird swimmers are here, to and half an hour after our building closes. So 6 to 9:30 p.m. and Sunday from 9 to 8:30 when we close our door at 8. They'll be here for the half hour after that shift. We instituted a set of house rules on the day after President's Day, and before the incident, it was really positive. I think our staff has been seeing very positive results from those house rules, and we've seen a consistent, just a level of behavior and a level of conduct that is much more in line with what we're looking for. So we're consistently applying that and enforcing that along with our partners since then. And then the staff and I are implementing a manager on duty system that's going to be implemented very shortly. We've already addressed who on staff will be as part of that manager on duty. So whenever, whether it's on the weekends, in the evenings, there will be somebody on site that has decision-making authority and will know how to address any kind of issues that arise, whether it's with our rental patrons or whether it's with somebody who's not in compliance with our code of conduct. So those are the strategies that I've gathered within the last 3 or 4 days from all the meetings and conversations I've had. Any questions on that front?
As a public, can we have access to the house rules? Or the code of
Yes,
conduct?
actually, it is posted on, we put it on the acrylic stands out in the lobbies area on the tables.
Thank you.
We will make the house rules available at the table with Catherine for anybody that wants to pick it up.
Sure. So we'll have copies of the house rules so that you can pick them up. So we're moving into the areas of exploration that was revealed from the community survey results. So typically, at the February meetings, a lot of our community members, as well as our partners, come forth with program ideas. And the staff will have that month to sort of do the discovery aspects of it and assign a timeline and cost if we were to execute those programs. And since it was sort of my first public meeting, there were not a lot of recommendations or proposals for programs. So what I've instructed staff to do is to go through the community survey results and look for the actionable items that were revealed in those result areas. So to do some of those discovery and exploration of the programs that we're going to be looking at in the next 6 months to a year. So these are some of the things that was revealed. I'm going to share with you first what the results convey, and then we'll go into the areas for exploration. So in the results, it says that lifelong learning was the program type with the highest level of potential interest, 69%, with only 12% of participation. So it indicates to us that there was great potential for growth in that area, as well as land-based fitness and wellness programs had a comparable ratio of interest of 64%. So those two program areas are the biggest opportunities that we have to further explore and consider in terms of promotion and adding to our offerings. So in the area of fitness and wellness, we're going to explore early mornings and evening pilot fitness programs, and we already have an extremely popular slate of programs that are already being offered during the day, and they're mostly facilitated over at the Lake Ann facility. So based on the survey findings, and if we are to pilot these early mornings, what the staff will have to do is to increase the operating hours of RCC Lake Ann, because right now the Lake Ann facility is open at 9 a.m. And if we are going to add programs in the early morning, we'll have to consider the budget implications of an earlier opening, and then the cost of adding instructors and the cost of marketing costs in terms of attracting that audience, because we don't currently have that audience yet. So those are the cost implications. There were some results that was shared with us in terms of fitness and wellness programs that are outside of the scope of what RCC can explore right now, and those are the ones that require a lot of equipment and a lot of space. Fitness studios, gym equipment, and pickleball courts and tennis courts and things like that. Those are more out of the realm of the scope of what we provide. So, and of course, disc golf. So, lifelong learning was also the other area of high potential for growth, and some of this we are already addressing in terms of the trips. We have for every trip that we program, we have about 3 times the size on wait lists, and staff is looking to ameliorate those wait lists by adding second trips, but not on the same day, but do it in a way that it's the exact same agenda and all of that, but doing it on a different day so that we can take people off the wait list and fulfill some of the demands that we have. A few of the trips that require performance tickets and things like that may not be feasible for us because of we have to purchase those tickets in advance. So some we can address with second dates or third dates, but some we can't. In terms of adding new lifelong learning programs, there are expertise in the room on the management team with me, so anybody who wants to add, I don't see Kevin tonight. Oh wait, sorry. So if you want to add to anything that I share, Kevin, please feel free to do so. But what that would require is that we're going to have to do some market research to identify those micro markets in order to add those programs and make sure that they are a success. Increase attendance for the current programs that we have. As you heard earlier, we have 12% in lifelong learning, that we can do more marketing and more public outreach to make sure that we can increase those attendance in those programs that we already are offering. And as we go along in this presentation, you'll see that the media strategies that we're using will also help with that public outreach. And then the Dogwood After School program that we've been exploring for several months have sort of hit a little bit of a roadblock because of the budget concerns that FCPS is going to be encountering. And we've been told that we don't know if after school will be happening this year, and the principal of Dogwood Elementary will not be told whether that's happening until May. So what we're doing internally is we're tracking two paths. We're gonna keep going with potentially programming an after-school program, given if the summer school is going to happen. And then also planning a contingent plan if summer school isn't offered, what programs can we bring to bridge the gaps? And RCC on Wheels is one of those opportunities where we can take programs out into those communities that are in need. So anything you want to add to the after-school program, Kevin?
No, you covered everything.
And we're in conversations with the school board, the Melanie Marin and I have talked about, areas that she may address, that she may see that, RCC can fulfill some of the gaps that she sees in the community. So it's an exciting one, and I'm very hopeful and very optimistic that we'll be able to do something. RCC on Wheels is heading into a very exciting stage. If you haven't heard about this initiative, it is a mobile unit. It's a van that we have customized the wrap to brand RCC, and it's meant to make our programs more accessible to different communities. And it will allow us to pull up to any space, underserved communities or less activated space within our community, and bring those programs to those communities directly without them having to come to us. So we're in the program development concept phase right now, as well as some of the more standard operating procedures, protocols that we need to set up to make sure that we know where it's supposed to go, what kind of supplies, what staff requirements, and all the permissions and the permits if we're going to go into certain neighborhoods. And some of the upcoming schedule we have, May is still in progress, but we've identified that we'll be at the Celebrate Reston on April 5th, and on June 20th at the Play All Day Virginia, and that will be in various locations that we'll be posting on our website as well as our social media platforms. So stay tuned for that. Now we're moving into the 3 barriers of participation that the community survey results revealed, and those were limited time. Our community members state that they're too busy. Second was the lack of awareness, and the third was transportation. So these next few slides are the strategies that the media team have explored and looking to implement in the months ahead to address these barriers to participation. So we have our communications director, Lorna Campbell-Clark, right here, and I'm going to summarize what she has shared with me in terms of the strategies that she's going to be looking to implement. Prioritizing quality over quantity when it comes to communication, so that we can speak directly to the segments or the areas of interest that our community members have. The timeliness and relevance of those communications, we are doing a much more intentional job of maintaining our RCC contact list database, which means when you are registered for our programs, you have shared with us your email address, as well as really going out and making sure that people are aware of the different communications that we have, and subscribing and opting in to receive our e-news and our communications to get aware of the programs that we're offering. So a lot of our the community surveys, when they state the lack of awareness, they are not aware that we're doing the bi-weekly e-news about upcoming available classes and offerings. We used to have a 2-week offering, but now we've moved it to, are we still doing the 2 weeks? Okay, so I didn't know if we moved to monthly, but okay, so the bi-weekly is still happening. So if you are not already on our email list, please subscribe, and there's gonna be a full page in our next program guide that is dedicated to making sure that our patrons know and subscribe to these distribution lists so they can get our newsletter. We're going to diversify our communications channels, being much more interactive engagement in terms of our social media accounts. We've traditionally do a lot of sort of like push communications where we just tell people what we're doing, but we're going to change that up and make it more interactive in terms of using interactions such as polls and surveys and contests so that we can get that community engagement on our social media platforms. Strategic community presence to elevate visibility, and that goes to the RCC on Wheels. That's going to be, in addition to the delivering content, I think it's going to be a very powerful marketing brand where people will see us out in the community a lot more with that RCC on Wheels. We have been placing key messages on billboards, bus tails, and shelters in Reston. So as you move around the community, you may see our ads at the bus shelters and including at the Reston Hospital, where we know we've been getting a lot of impressions there. So those are some of the areas that we've been moving into in terms of our placing of our ads. And then we're using more automation, email automation, using our MyRCC, which is our RecTrack online registration system. And we're using that to automate the patron satisfaction survey. We're using that to automate program reminders for you a week out, so that when you've registered for a program that you should be expecting an email to remind you that there is something coming up. And also, welcome
newsletter.
Right, so if you are a newcomer to Reston or you register to have a household account, you will automatically receive a welcome email from us that tells you, sort of the basics of how to register and some of those key messages that I think newcomers appreciate when they are introduced to us for the first time. And then segmentation is more just kind of along the same line as I was mentioned earlier in terms of making sure that we give you those communications that speaks to your areas of interest. So if you've indicated that, or your registration shows that you are interested in arts education, we will make sure that those types of programs are more targeted towards the patrons that are interested in those areas. So that's the segmentation strategy that our media will be using. And then of course, accessibility and inclusivity, that's just part of our value system. And recently RCC has submitted to the county a language access. And so when a patron walked through our doors, they could identify through a signage to tell us which language they speak. And pretty soon, all of our frontline customer service staff will be trained in order to get a interpreter on the phone right then and there to help them with whatever language that they speak to register or to get the necessary information. That goes for also across the board on our website. We have a translating tool on our website that you can select any languages, including the online registration. So our entire website is now translatable and have alternative language options for patrons who don't speak English as their first language. And with regards to transportation, RCC Rides is a program that we've been offering for many, many years with a lot of success. And to address the barrier of participation in that regards, we want to look at how to expand the RCC Rides programs to include transportation for patrons who want to participate in our programs. So that, you know, they can sign up for somebody to transport them here, and then they could be transported back after they're done. So those are the media strategies. And finally, the fee waiver for federal worker. This is just an expansion of a fee waiver program that is already in place. We're gonna mirror that, but just expanded it to federal workers who have been impacted by the, you know, the cutbacks. And so if you come to us or if you email us at rcccontact@fairfaxcounty.gov, and you know, our customer service team will be helping you to identify the forms that you need to fill out in order to be awarded $400 per family member in a household. And if you have children that are school age that can participate in summer camps, we don't have a cap on that. They can participate in an unlimited number of summer camps, and with a $10 per week that we charge. So the program will go in effect immediately. So if you are here tonight and you're a federal worker that's been impacted, please see one of our staff members, or just contact us via phone or email tomorrow. And this program is available until the end of this fiscal year, and then we'll look to reassess the level of usage, and most likely we'll continue to do so in fiscal year 26 as well, when that starts in July.
Hey, Dee Dee, quick question, Brian knows, but for people who are not here tonight, we're gonna get this word out to folks in the communities that there's so many right here in the Reston community who are affected already. And
You're absolutely
all of
right.
the kids is gonna be really important during the summer months.
Especially if they don't have summer school.
Right, yeah.
But, so the media department and I are having a meeting tomorrow on how to socialize this program and how to get it out. I know it's going to be featured on the e-newsletter that is coming out in the next few weeks. So, you know, please share that with your neighbors, your families, and we hope that, you know, the community will take advantage of that, because we know there's a lot of need out there. And finally, this is the opportunity for community input. If you would like to give us your comments or questions, if you're an individual, please provide your name, address, and you have 3 minutes if you're an individual, and if you're representing an organization, you have 5 minutes to speak. Did we have anybody who signed up to speak, Catherine?
Speaking as an individual.
Please, yeah. If you want to use the mic so everybody
That'd be
can.
great, use the mic.
So good evening, everyone. My name is Shamla, and this is my first time attending a public meeting. I couldn't attend last month's meeting, and thank you for all your slides this evening. So my name is Shamla, and I'm a Fairfax County resident for the past 20 years. I live in Herndon, and my children are part of the RCC. They come to swim classes, they lifeguard here, and we do a lot of get-togethers in the community halls at Lake Anne. And I'm also a yoga teacher at the YMCA Reston. I have a unique offering at the Reston YMCA. I offer aqua yoga. There is a huge participation for this aqua yoga, because a lot of the members I see, they have a lot of disabilities, like injuries, spinal injuries, and they feel that yoga is a barrier to participate. So I offered aqua yoga, the same yoga movements in water. So since this facility has a lot of pools, it's a water-based facility, a lot of patrons come and use the water. I felt that I could propose this, and members in this community can gain access to to yoga, and get all the benefits of breath work, meditation, and general movement in the body. Since you talked about fitness and wellness programs, I just wanted to propose that we could offer aqua yoga at RCC.
Thank you. So if one of us can help give her the program proposal form so that she can send that to us. Anybody else who'd like to speak tonight? That is all I have to update the community tonight. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you taking to come here and listen to our areas of explorations and programs. If you have any input at all, please see us. You know, there's a email RCC contact at fairfaxcounty.gov that you can email us at any time. We have a 48 hours reply rule, so you would hear from us if you submit any of your input or comments there. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.